I had planned to read 13 books in January, on track to get through 150 books again, just like 2023 here in 2024. How'd I do? And were the books any good? No, I didn't make it. Only got through 10 books in January, but there were some saboteurs. One book I'm still reading and just couldn't get it done. Another ended up a DNF, so I don't count that. But I did get 35% in. But even with those taken into account, I would have only got through 12. So I've got 10 books to share with you today. Some great books that I did get through in the month of January. Here's the highlights. The Burden of Time, Zombie Fallout, book 21 by Mark Tufo. This is the most recent of the books in this brilliant series by Mark Tufo that's come to Audible, because that's how I read these. I think book 22 may be out, but not in Audible form yet. I'll get to it because I'm all in still on this fantastic zombie apocalypse and so much more. 3 books were from My Dead World by Jacqueline Druga, another zombie apocalypse series. It's really one whole story, books 1 through 5. I did the first 2 books back in 2023. But each book does have its own unique little arc. None of them are super long, but this is a delightful series. I've got another episode out on just the whole thing. But books 3, 4, and 5 finished the series strong, and I enjoyed those here in January. I finished The Bone Hunters, book 6 of Malazan Book of the Fallen by Steven Erikson. The trend has continued. This was my favorite book in the series so far. Now it's off to the next book. I'm already reading book 7, Reaper's Gale. I concluded the 3 Body trilogy by Sijin Liu this month with book 2, The Dark Forest, and book 3, Death's End. That was quite a science fiction ride, I'll tell you. Gets more and more out there because we're getting farther and farther into the future as we go through the series, and the author comes up with some brilliant thoughts and ideas. Look for more content just on this trilogy coming to you soon. A Wizard's Dream by an author who I cannot possibly begin to think of how to say his name, but let's try it. Rocha Bukovic, something like that. This was my DNF. Beautifully written story. I got 35% in, but I found I couldn't keep focused. I was starting to skim. He put so much effort into the beauty of his writing and talking about the environment and the setting, and it's gorgeous, but it makes the pacing, it kills the pacing, so I couldn't get through the story. But some of you may like this. I don't want to discourage you from reading it. A Wizard's Dream. Then we've got the 3 novellas, which helps me get to my count in. The Tales of Beauchelain and Corbeau Brooch. This is more from the Malazan universe, written by Steven Erikson. So Blood Follows and The Lees of Laughter's End are bam, bam. They flow one right into the other. They are fantastic. A very different feel to what you otherwise read in Malazan. And yet the humor and wit is still on huge display in Erikson's writing here. We met these characters way back in an earlier book. Which one? Holy cow. The 3rd book, Memories of Ice? They were just this odd couple of guys. Well, we get so much more of them here in these novellas. Loved it. Delightful. And their manservant, Emancipor, or Mancy. So much entertainment in these novellas. Those first 2, great. Then there's a time jump, and we get the 3rd one, The Healthy Dead. Now, people in the fandom have told me, well, that's farther out in the series. You shouldn't read it so early. It didn't ruin anything for me as far as I could tell. I still understood what was going on, so I wouldn't discourage people from reading it right here if you want, because it was a hoot. That covers the 10 books that I read. There's one more that I said I couldn't finish, and that was frickin' Duma Key by Stephen King. I started this book back in September. It's a pretty big hardcover that I'm reading. I'm over halfway. I'm approaching 60% through. The book has been picking up, and yet doesn't really pull me in much. I have to make myself take time to read this from time to time. I will finish it. It's a good story, but it's not as much my thing as a lot of this other stuff. I mean, like Malazan. Effortless to read that. Okay, that was my January reads. Let me know what you think of any of these. If you've read some of them and you have comments, put it down in the comment box. Oh, hey, if you liked the episode, let us know. Give us the thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so. We'd love to have you with us. Also, thank you, Patreon supporters. Always want to give you some love. That's all I have for now. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time.